Good afternoon. Welcome to Talk on the Block. All eyes on a meeting in Newtown tonight at the Harlem Plaza. Top brass of the opposition United Workers Party meeting with the constituency branch. On the way forward, Mr. Joshua Francis. Another meeting apparently was held last night. With a number of constituents, where I was told Mr. Joshua Francis spoke frankly for the first time, bringing them up to date on all the issues of the day. We're being told it was an honest and hard-hitting meeting. So I suspect we expect a very interesting meeting tonight. We'll get an update from that meeting. But before that, I'll play you a repeat of an interview, exclusive interview I had with Thompson Fontaine. A top member of the opposition United Workers Party. Let's listen this morning.
Matt, I decided not to speak publicly about this, but I think it's important to just clarify the air, because I heard some statements being made yesterday in particular from Mr. Kala John Baptist, indicating that the United Workers Party was on a kangaroo court with regards to Mr. Joshua Francis and so on. There is none of that. We're not going to be holding court over Joshua's guilt or innocence or anything of this sort. That's not what this is about. As you know, and the facts are, the party, after Mr. Francis was implicated in this scandal, the party asked him to resign as a deputy leader. He was written to officially by the party. Mr. Francis so far has not resigned, and as was requested from the party. And this meeting tonight is to meet with the constituents of the Roseau constituency and the party group there that have been responsible for the success of Mr. Francis. It's important for them to understand exactly what it is that the party is doing. People need to understand that the party is an organization, that we have a constitution that we need to follow, that we need to be fair to every person within the party, and that there was very specific instructions within our constitution as to how to deal with situations arising with respect to the leader of the party and with respect to the deputy leader of the party, and that we are going to be kind of making that clear to the people in tonight, really. And this notion that we are going to be trying the case, we are not a court of law. Mr. Francis continues to proclaim his innocence. We have no reason to doubt Mr. Francis. And but that's not what this is all about. This is simply a situation where the constituents need to know exactly what the party is doing, the process the party has embarked upon, and to hear from them. We need to get their feedback. And you hear all sorts of talk about the party imploding, the party is in split. I mean, look at it. The Dominican Labour Party had a similar situation. Nobody is writing about the Labour Party imploding. Nobody's writing about the Labour Party because Prime Minister Skerry took the decision to fire Ian Pinard. Not one person said anything about this. There is nowhere. I looked at Facebook. None of the supporters of the Labour Party are saying, "Oh, why the Prime Minister did this, or he should have done it, or he should not have done it." There is no such discussion, and yet the United Workers' Party has been brought under the gun, and one wonders why. We've not done anything wrong. We have simply acted in what we believe is the best interests of the party. And we've been in dialogue with Mr. Francis, somebody that we love dearly. He's part of us. He's part of our team. I mean, me and Mr. Francis came into this thing together. We are very close, personal friends, and we are hurting over all of this. I mean,
but what about those who said, Thompson Fontaine? I know time is not on our side this morning. They've said, well, the opposition, United Workers' Party, may not have handled this in the right way.
Matt, well, there are different ideas on this. Some people feel, well, as a party, we should not do anything. Okay, as a party, we should not ask Mr. Francis to resign. But here's the party's position. The party's position is that a serious allegation was made against Mr. Francis, and it was important for the party as a unit to disentangle itself from all of this. Okay, the face of the party is Mr. Joshua Francis. He is in very senior leadership of the party. This is not a rank and file member of the party. These are serious allegations. This is a platform that the party has taken up onto itself. We've been talking about, making amendments to the Sexual Offences Act, protecting our young children, and here it is, a very senior member of our party had these allegations placed against them. We're not talking about the truth or the falsity of those allegations. We are not a court of law. That has been handled in the court. We're saying that as a party, what we thought should be done, and I spoke to Josh on this personally. That was my advice to him, because I think that's a professional thing to do. That would be the right thing to do. Do this, and then once your name is clear, because you're innocent, you maintain your innocence, you go through the court, then you get reinvest. I mean, being a member of the executive of the United Workers' Party is not a right. It's a privilege. And with that privilege goes certain responsibilities. And that's what people need to understand. That because he's the face of the party and those serious allegations, we're not expelling him from the party. We're not expelling him from Parliament. He remains as the MP for the Rose of South constituency. He remains as part of the party. We are just saying that given that he is a senior member, that the party felt going forward that it was important that he not be the deputy at that particular point. And I quite frankly, I think that's the right approach. I have supported that approach. I mean, I have spoken privately to Mr. Francis. I support that approach, and I see nothing wrong in that. That does not speak to his to guilt or innocence. And as I said, I continue to reiterate, Mr. Francis continues to maintain his innocence. He's told us he's innocent. I personally have no reason to believe that he's not innocent, because that is his pronouncement, and that is what we continue to believe. But the important thing of the people of Dominica to remember is that we have an organization. There are certain rules within the organization, and we have to act as a party. I mean, how would it appear to the world that here it is, we are building a platform, a protection of our children, and all of these things that we are talking about, and something happens to one of our leaders, and nothing, we don't seem to do anything. I mean, what if it's just me, for example, I'd gone into a store and stolen something from a store? I would have had to resign. Anybody in the, whether it was a leader, any senior member of the executive, I mean, anything happened to them, and it comes to that stage where it's a serious allegation and pulling.
So you don't agree with your critics, Thompson Fontaine, that you may have thrown him under the bus?
That is absolutely not true, and this has been very painful. This has been, I think, for me, I mean, I would count the last month as probably the worst of my life, just in terms of how people have accused the party of dealing with Mr. Francis. All of this not true. People are just saying whatever comes to their minds and so on. We have been very supportive of Mr. Francis. We have reached out to Mr. Francis. We have encouraged Mr. Francis. We are extremely supportive of him. Personally, Mr. Francis is a key part of the United Workers' Party. After the elections, myself and Joseph Isaac, we were charged with putting together a strategic plan for the development of the party going forward. And it was my recommendation to put Mr. Joshua Francis as the head of our strategic committee, because I saw what he did in the Rosa South as critical to the success of the party. So he heads the strategic committee of the United Workers' Party to strategize on our winning formula going forward. So we have a very high regard and respect for Mr. Francis. This is nothing but for Mr. Francis under the board. We need him. We need Mr. Francis in the party. And that's what the Dominican public need to understand. Why would we hurt ourselves? Why would we shoot ourselves in the foot? What gain do we have to throw Mr. Francis under the bus? And it galls me, it hurts, and also I've been very disappointed that the comments leveled against the leader. Every comment I've heard about Mr. Lennox Linton in this regard is wrong. It is unfair to Mr. Linton. It is not correct. Very early on, because of what happened before this event, because of what people saw as some people call it a power struggle, which there was none, because we had a convention in January and Mr. Linton was not challenged for the leadership. He could have been challenged, he was not challenged. Josh was not in. Josh said repeatedly he's not interested in the leadership, but that is something that was being pushed by the public. So when that happened, we thought it was in the best interest of the party to have Mr. Linton not be involved at all in the situation. And that's what we've done. We've acted, the executive has acted, the management committee has been the one moving this process forward. And Matt, personally, I think Dominicans sometimes they really talk too much and they really talk about things they know nothing about. And one last thing with regards to Kalai. Kalai was talking about the presence of Isaac at a meeting that has not even taken place as yet. Isaac is not a member of the executive. He will not be at the meeting tonight. So that notion that Isaac is going to be there because he is a replacement for this conspiracy theory is a nonsense. And we need to stop this. We need to stop this. And here it is, a situation happened with regard to the Dominican Labour Party and the Workers' Party. Our own supporters are shredding us to bits over this, unfairly so, and I think it is unjustified. The party has certain obligations to its constitution. We are acting in the best interest of the constitution of the party, and we are trying our best to deal with this, because this is a very serious situation, and we're not taking this lightly. And I would like to strongly state that this notion that we've thrown Josh under the bus is completely false, and that the people who continue to make those allegations against Mr. Lennox Linton, they need to stop it.
This is getting more interesting by the minute. That was Thompson Fontaine from the top brass of the opposition United Workers' Party. He clearly said that it's just about the image of the party, and they are trying to deal with this the best way they know how. Kala John Baptist has been following this big meeting in Newtown last night with Joshua Francis, the MP for the area. From what I gather, based on the information coming from there, Mr. Joshua Francis is not going to resign. But we'll talk more to Carlisle John Baptist. But before that, this is a letter that surfaced on Facebook entitled "The Sex Scandal, a UWP Bridge Over Troubled Waters." I'll read a part of that for you. As the bell tolls for the UWP meeting upcoming delegates conference to bury Joshua Francis, his supporters are astonished that up to this present moment, no one from the UWP executive has informed him about it. The question being asked, is it because of treachery? However, it is interesting to note that since the sexual accusation was made, Mr. Francis met with Linton only once, and that was at Linton's residence at Mondania. Is this true? Or is it true that no time during this ordeal has the UWP executive met with Francis or even invite him to a meeting? I thought they were supposed to meet the Monday, or they did meet the Monday after the Sunday with Linton at his house. Something is not clear there. It is interesting to note, for going down a little bit there on that letter there. It is interesting to note the following. At the Mount Daniel meeting, charges were yet to be filed against Mr. Francis. Number two, Mr. Linton already had in his possession a copy of the young lady's statement. You're asking whether this is true. The next day, Mr. Linton issued a public statement calling for Joshua Francis to resign. Some things in this does not follow through. And these statements should be more questions than answers. Was the call for Mr. Francis' resignation a UWP executive decision? Did Mr. Thompson Fontaine confirm this on Facebook? Is it true that to date Francis has received no official letter or notice about the delegates' conference? Is it true that since the allegations surfaced, Francis has been treated as a castaway by his colleagues? And is it true that Mr. Linton is asking for off-island trail to ensure that Mr. Francis does not get away? Meanwhile, the political fallout has left the UWP like a bridge over troubled waters. The executive is a quandary that threatens not only Linton's political future, but the very existence of the party. The faction backing Joshua Francis referred to Linton as a dictator, and some have made it clear that they won't be attending the delegates' conference. More controversy. Kalai John Baptist, are you there?
Matt, good afternoon to you. I'm very much there. Very much there.
What do you make of all this, what seem to be further scandals?
That's all I do. I give God praises and thanks. I say thanks to God because I'm alive and well. And
well, you recognize that you're under the gun.
That's nothing new. Nothing new. Typical UWPites, typical labor rights. Once it does not suit them, they attack you mercilessly. That is what they do. When we broke this story, we were lifted up and held in high esteem. As soon as it does not suit them, whoops, licks on you. But Matt, that did not prevent me from exercising this morning. That did not prevent me from going to church this morning. That did not prevent me from eating this morning. And that did not prevent me from being alive. Am I not alive? Praise God for that. I'm very much alive.
John Baptist.
Yes.
You've been following this meeting, I was told, that Joshua Francis held with his, at least some of his constituents last night. I was told it was a very heated and frank meeting.
Yes.
What did you learn from that? What went on there?
Well, from my information, a number of questions came up. Top on the agenda was, one, the people were very, very anxious to find out if Joshua Francis had crossed the floor. One, if Joshua Francis was a member of the UWP still, and if Joshua Francis was a member or had defected to become a member of the Dominican Labour Party. From my information, Mr. Francis categorically denied that. One, he denied that he had ever crossed the floor. He denied crossing the floor. He denied having any meeting with the Prime Minister, Mr. Skerrit. He also maintained that he is still, one, a member of the Opposition United Workers' Party and still deputy political leader of the Opposition United Workers' Party. So that...
But did he indicate at all, Carlisle, whether, given the pressures around him to resign as deputy, whether he would resign?
He said he will not resign. He said he will not resign. He also said that there were options available to him, and from my information is that, of course, an injunction can be filed, to prevent the delegates' conference from taking place. But he did say to those supporters of his that he will do nothing to prevent them from doing what they want to do. He will not step in the way of what is going to happen. In fact, also, those who attended the meeting last evening were adamant that they were going to boycott tonight's meeting. They were adamant that they were going to boycott tonight's meeting. And from my information, Mr. Francis urged them not to do such, to make sure they attended tonight's meeting.
But Carla, do they need the approval of the the constituency branch from Newtown to take that decision come Sunday? Come the 24th, sorry, come the 24th.
They invoked a clause, they remember that they invoked a certain clause in their constitution, so they would not need the members' blessings. They basically invoked a certain clause in their constitution, and that is what they did. Now, just quickly, Matt, before you go further, I just want to quickly address the situation with that Thompson Fountain spoke about dealing with, what is his name?
Mr. Isaac.
Joseph Isaac. Joseph Isaac was in fact selected to attend that meeting tonight. He was invited. But because I spoke about that and because of pressures, he's been advised, a number of people advised him, partner, stay out of that. Stay clear and let the process roll. So for Thompson to say whatever, that Joseph Isaac was never going to be part of that is further from the truth. But those guys, they just, I don't know those guys anyway, boy. Those guys, but politics is a strange bedfellows, strange set of people in that political arena, But
the Opposition United Workers' Party, based on the conversations with Thompson, seem adamant that they're going ahead with that April 24th meeting. Do you think maybe a lot might happen before the 24th to so they may have a change of mind as to moving forward?
Well, the only way that they will not want to go with that meeting is, I would think, that if Francis would resign as deputy political leader of the party, and Francis has made it abundantly clear that he will not resign.
But I'm hearing that some members are saying that some delegates are saying that they won't be attending that upcoming conference. It's sending a bad vibes. That there's some rift, in that party as we speak at this time.
That is nothing new, It's nothing new. You may want to say that democracy
will prevail, huh?
Well, yes, you may want to say that, but I listening to the vibes on the ground, I mean, you have diverse views. Some are of the view, of the opinion that Francis should resign or should have resigned, and some feel that due process, he is innocent until proven guilty. whatever is going on. And, but some believe that he should step aside and remove the attention from the party. Remove that whole attention from the party. Others feel, no, what attention is there on the party? The man is innocent and let the matter take its natural course and let's see what comes out of it. But that is basically for them to decide. What I'm saying though, and I will continue to say that, as it relates to certain comments made by the leader of the opposition, the leader of the party, especially the comments dealing with the situation as it relates to possibly bringing down jurors or trying the matter in another jurisdiction. That to me says a lot. And practically everyone I speak to will say, or they have been saying that he went much too far. That comment was just out of sync. Out of sync. First of all, he ought to have known that the Constitution and the Jury Act does not provide for that you are tried by your own peers, and so on and so forth. And then he went, But that being said, though, it continues almost every time you hear some melee, something is always happening within the rank and file of the opposition United Workers Party. Something is always happening. During the election time, we had this situation in the Maho constituency where, stranger, they denied that there was problems. They denied that there was infighting. They denied that. They categorically denied that. And what happened after? What happened after? It came right back in their faces. And see again another problem. Now they want to bury me, they want to attack me, but I will stay tall and I will live to see much more. I will continue being there to speak out. So whether they like me or not, I really don't care, because I do not bring my plate for anybody in the opposition, neither anybody in government. I don't ask them for any favors, and I will not ask them for any favors. I'm being straightforward. I'm a straight shooter. So whether they like me or not, it's of no consequence to me, Matt. You know that. I'm not bothered about that. I'm not bothered about them. So that is how it is. But that whole Joshua Francis situation and the way it has been handled, it's clearly not doing good for the party. It's not doing good for you. Are you hearing anything about any other person? Or any other of the others? Are you hearing anything about that? No. So, I guess time will tell, brother.
We will see what goes on. Somebody says here to me, Kalajan Baptist, the writing is on the wall. Come April 24th in Maho, the delegate conference will separate the ship from the hooves, as the mask will be pulled from the faces one by one. Fear not, my brother, the wicked will be cut down, and deliverance will come. We taking a quick break and we're coming back to get your phone calls. The meeting is tonight. We'll see what happens.
When life bowls you a fast one, all it takes is a thin edge and into the keeper's gloves, because you caught on the wrong foot. But thank God for the big edge when you can slash at life's bouncers and over the fields, man, into the boundary. Yes, the Big Edge Financial Express for emergency funding, financial difficulties, Ubuswelaja one time. And the Alikuti Big Edge Financial Express to Pui Ministry right opposite the Treasury. Evakite Modu, their rates are lower than the competition. Life and all its bouncers, reverse swing, simple job for umpire doctor out. But Big Edge is the third umpire qui pas mon l'autre chance. Big Edge que tu es pia qui a souffrant. Big Edge que déléger the stress at the back of your neck. Big Edge will make you smile again. So come for your little loan. Call 440-9009 and rise again with Big Edge Financial Express opposite the Treasury. Big Edge, financing your most cherished moments.
Hello, good afternoon. Hello.
Matt,
I'm here.
Joshua Francis has never been a team player. And to me, I just feel you should just do the honorable thing, step aside as deputy. They cannot give you a golden plate for you to sit on. There is something that the party must do to discipline you. So you just step aside, and then after all is done, you will come back.
All right. Some is going with that argument. Some are saying, well, let the process go forward, and if he's guilty, let him pay. But he's insisting that he's not going to resign. And you just heard from Kala John Bath. He's told that to his constituents that he's not going to resign. Hello, talk to me.
Yes, man.
How are you?
That's the African brother.
Yes, I.
I watching that present controversy like a cult attack the United Workers Party. And Kalai must be specific because there is something called false allegation that causes confusion. So you have to be specific.
So what is you being specific saying?
What I'm trying to explain, definitely the two parties, including Mr. Joshua and Mr. Linton, they both have different, what you would say, saying. So the people are still confused because Joshua insists in not resigning.
And of course, based on the information coming from the meeting as well, speaking to sources there, he also indicated to the meeting last night that he's willing to meet with any member of the executive of the opposition United Workers Party. Is it too late to talk? I don't know. Hello. To you, sir.
Matt, I listened to Kalai carefully. Matt, Kalai said something there and it struck me, Matt. Kalai said, man, how come you didn't hear this scandal on the other side? You see what happening? As soon as that happened, Mr. Skirt called the gentleman and the gentleman resigned right away. Right away.
And you may have somebody asking you, well, it was Mr. Scary's strategy. Was it or is it the right strategy for the opposition United Workers Party? Just a question coming in there. It's 1:38. Hello.
Yes, good afternoon, Matt.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine, Matt. Matt, yesterday or day before yesterday, that Panama paper revolution scandal came out.
Right.
You know, this morning, the Prime Minister for Iceland resigned. A major demonstration. The people ask him to step down. They don't know what's going on. But from the time they hear his name was involved in it, they ask him to step down. He didn't want to step down, but today he resigned. Have a blessed day. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hello. And whether Mr. Joshua Francis will be speaking out before that to the public, we'll have to wait and see. Hello. As to why he insists that he will not resign.
Matt.
Yes.
Good afternoon to you and good afternoon to your listeners.
Yes, sir.
Matt, the party asked Mr. Joshua Francis to step aside, not as a parliamentarian, but as a member of the executive.
But they cannot ask him to step aside as a parliamentarian. That's for his constituents to do.
No, that's for his constituency, but they have asked him to step aside as an executive member of the party. Now, if he doesn't want to step aside, the party is bigger than that. The party must use its constitution and pitch him out of it. Because there is a constitution that guides the party. We have two bias in this country. That's why that country will.
But we heard a legal argument to that. I'm listening to all sides. That Cooper, stay there. There's a lawyer who called in yesterday and said it's merely an allegation. So why should he step down over an allegation?
But not the minister step aside. Open and transparency, you run under the banner of open and transparency. They ask you to step aside. Lord, my God, just step aside and let it go through the right process. Why are you fighting? You want to be the deputy. Use the constitution and get him out.
All right, hello, let's move on. It's 1:41. Time is of the essence here. Hello.
I'll try and be as brief as I can. Peltier, good afternoon to you.
How are you, sir?
Very well indeed. Peltier, the third world mentality baffles me now. I just thank God that when I was about 18 years old, my mom sent me to the white man's country in England. I just cannot understand people here at all. But first, Peltier, John Profumo in the 60s in Britain, a government minister, conservative government minister, he was alleged to have been involved in a sexual encounter with a prostitute named Christine Keeler and Mandy Rice Davis. That allegation was on the News of the World newspaper on a Sunday morning. By Monday morning, John Profumo had resigned. About 4 years ago, Peltier, the Metropolitan Police Commissioner in London, there was an allegation that his officers were passing information to the News of the World newspaper. When that got out, the commissioner resigned because he thought that as the head of the police force, his people should not be involved in passing that sort of information to the News of the World. He resigned. Peltier, it's not a question of whether Mr. Francis is innocent or guilty, you know. That is not of the charges leveled against him. That is not the question. It is a question of morals and ethics, Peltier, as far as the UWP is concerned. The party has its rules. It has its constitution, Peltier. If those rules and constitution is breached by any executive member, Peltier, that would effectively mean that that member is bringing the party into grave disrepute. So in other words, that person ought to be sanctioned, because you cannot be preaching a gospel of protecting our children from sexual abuse on the one hand, then when one of your members is accused of alleged sexual misconduct against a minor on the other hand, you are turning the cheek the other way. Those two lines of argument are hypocritical and they are incompatible. If I was Mr. Joshua, I love my brother very much, my Kalinago brother. I love him. Peltier, if I was in his shoes, I would resign from the party, keep my seat in the Rosa South until the court comes along, Matty. I don't think that is an impossible thing to do. At the moment, you cannot have a law in your constitution saying that if you breach it, Matt, you have to step down, and you're saying to me that you're not going to step down. Those two are not right, Matt. Mr. Francis, my dear friend, I love the brother and his family very much. If I were in his place, I would step down from that executive position, let the court case comes along, and whatever happens there, I would take my seat back where I was before, Matt.
All right, caller, thank you very much. Thanks for your opinion here. We're coming back.
The Marigold Development Corporation presents the 10th Annual Mayfest 2016, April 29th to May 2nd in Marigold. 3 nights of excitement, delicious local cuisine, good booyah music, international artists, Juve morning, and so much more. The 10th Annual Mayfest is on April 29th to May 2nd. Book that date.
Q Classifieds. Get more value for your money, more bang for your buck. Advertise on Q95. Get even more value when you advertise on Q Classifieds. Property for sale, lease, homes, business premises, car rentals, job vacancies, hotel and restaurant services, tours, finance and insurance services, and more. Advertise on Q Classifieds. Advertise your audio or videos, scripts, flyer information, notices, and more. Advertise on Q Classifieds. Everyone's listening. Get the word out to local, regional, and worldwide listeners in real time. Advertise on Q Classifieds, your channel for quick results. Advertise on Q Classifieds. Right on Q.
New York City and the Tri-State, get ready for non-stop Creole music. Cyber Promotion presents the Golden White of your birthday bash or celebrations on Saturday, April 23rd from 9:30 p.m. to 3 a.m. at the Occasions Banquet Hall on 127-08 Merrick Boulevard, Jamaica, New York. Featuring the grand return of the king of the Zouk, Beton, Luc Leandre. Also the Zouk originator, the Zouk master, Jacob the Valley of Kassam. Both with a live band. Also the legendary Prince Wadix of Wadikoli and the Demolition Crew Band with Super Rel as MC. Entrance single $45, couple $80 all inclusive. Contact 347-285-8408 for more information. Supported by the extraordinary network Digicel. The gold and white of your birthday bash celebrations. Dress in gold and white or yellow or white. New York City, April 23rd. Undiluted, unlimited Creole music with Jacob DeValier, Luke Leandre, Prince Wadix, Demolition Crew, and Super Rel. Sakai Malala.
Drivers Auto Supplies has just received a shipment of quality used tires. This shipment includes a wide range of size of 15 tires. Yes, you heard me. We have received the popular size of 15 tires for your cars, pickup trucks, passenger buses, and SUVs. We have also received many size 13s and 14s. Of course, we always have available size 16s to 18. Bus drivers, vehicle rental companies, taxi drivers, and private vehicle owners, we have the tires that you have been asking for. So come visit us today or call us at telephone number 277-0505. That is 277-0505. Drivers Auto Supplies in Portersville, where Hayden's Wholesale used to be. Drivers Auto Supplies, quality tires at good prices. Come get your quality tires today.
Hello, Dominica. I'm Ming, the leader of the band Elan Pali out of Trinidad and Tobago. And we will be performing live at the Dominica Jazz and Creole Festival on Sunday, May 15, 2016, Fort Shirley at the Cabri National Park. Dominica Jazz and Creole Festival 2016.
Manchester United have made an incredible signing from the Caribbean. Everyone's watching Flo, a real game changer. My word, this team's giving the fans plenty to cheer about.
Flo has joined with Manchester United to bring you behind-the-scenes action, live updates, and exclusive videos. Stay updated with LED alerts. Text MUFC to 2300 to sign up, or download the app at flowmanunited.co. Flo and Manchester United, together we're in a different league.
You can say that again.
Conditions apply.
Brighter Days, the one-stop shop for your baby diapers, wipes, cleaning products, grocery items, and bulk or wholesale items. Located on the corner of Great George and Hillsborough Streets by the All Saints Medical School. Visit us today. Open Mondays to Fridays, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Telephone number is 448-1636. Brighter Days.
Q Classifieds. Get more value for your money, more bang for your buck. Advertise on Q95. Get even more value when you advertise on Q Classifieds. Property for sale, lease, homes, business premises, car rentals, job vacancies, hotel and restaurant services, tours, finance and insurance services, and more. Advertise on Q Classifieds. Advertise your audio or videos, scripts, flyer information, notices, and more. Advertise on Q Classifieds. Everyone's listening. Get the word out to local, regional, and worldwide listeners in real time. Advertise on Q Classifieds, your channel for quick results. Advertise on Q Classifieds. Right on Q.
New York City and the Tri-State, get ready for non-stop Creole music. Cyber Promotion presents the Golden White of your birthday bash celebrations on Saturday, April 23rd from 9:30 p.m. to 3 a.m. at the Occasions Banquet Hall on 127-08 Merrick Boulevard, Jamaica, New York. Featuring the grand return of the king of the Zouk, Beto, Luke Leandre. Also the Zouk originator, the Zouk master, Jacob DeValier of Kassam. Both with a live band. Also the legendary Prince Wadix of Wadikoli and the Demolition Crew Band with Super Rel as MC. Entrance single $45, couple $80 all inclusive. Contact 347-285-8408 for more information. Supported by the extraordinary network Digicel. The gold and white of your birthday bash celebrations. Dress in gold and white or yellow or white. New York City, April 23rd. Undiluted, unlimited Creole music with Jacob de Varier, Luke Leandre, Prince, Wadix, Demolition Crew, and Super L. Sakai Malala.
Drivers Auto Supplies has just received a shipment of quality used tires. This shipment includes a wide range of size of 15 tires. Yes, you heard me. We have received the popular size of 15 tires for your cars, pickup trucks, passenger buses, and SUVs. We have also received many size 13s and 14s. Of course, we always have available size 16s to 18. Bus drivers, vehicle rental companies, taxi drivers, and private vehicle owners, we have the tires that you have been asking for. So come visit us today or call us at telephone number 277-0505. That is 277-0505. Drivers Auto Supplies in Portersville, where Hayden's Wholesale used to be. Drivers Auto Supplies. Quality tires at good prices. Come get your quality tires today.
All right, let's go back to the telephones. I know you can't wait. This is Talk on the Block.
Good afternoon, Matt.
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. Matt, Joshua Francis, Matt, is the architect of his own downfall. And I am totally disappointed in him, actually, for not showing that he's a man of integrity. Matt, how many times have we called for Roosevelt Skerrit to resign on allegations that we've heard surrounding him? Joshua Francis, I figure, must have made some statement to the effect at some time on the platform that Skerrit should resign. But Matt, my question is, do we still have men of integrity in Dominica? Do we still have men, good men? Matt, Carl John Baptist calls himself a journalist, and he can be objective. What did Mr. Linton do wrong? Mr. Linton has done nothing wrong. This incident,
Let me tell you, I've shared that before. There are a number of persons who have said, not only Carl John Baptist, that they could have adopted a different approach. Now that's his opinion. I was talking to a lawyer a couple of days ago of the United Workers' Party who said that he thinks that he might not say that publicly because he might be afraid of getting a bashing from the likes of you and others. People have their opinion and you have to respect other people's opinion. So if you have your opinion, you think the United Workers' Party handled this in the right way, then that's all good. But there are other people who share a different opinion and we have to respect that. Isn't that how it goes? We have to agree to disagree?
Yes, I agree with that, Matt.
All right, well, let's go.
Listen to what I'm saying, Matt. Is that if you are a person of integrity, we are talking in Dominica about we want to improve the standards of government in this country. That people must show accountability, people must have good morale, and people must show integrity. If we are talking of a party, and this is what we want to promote, how can we support this, Matt? Matt, how is he going to go into the House of Assembly and argue a bill on sexual abuse and women's rights? Right? Mr. Joshua Francis should not have allowed Mr. Linton to say anything. He should have resigned. Why do you think Ian Pinard resigned immediately? To avoid this same confusion that we are in now, and to take them out of the limelight. But Joshua Francis has shown to me that he is, I won't say more, Matt, because maybe I'm getting too emotional.
Maybe you are. So take a break, okay? Hello. And I'm telling you that there are a number of persons out there who are expressing the same sentiment very close to the opposition United Workers' Party that will not come public, but will stay silently and talk. Believe me. Hello, talk to me.
Yes, Matt, how are you doing?
How you doing, my brother, man?
I'm doing good. I am listening to this here, and I'm very wondering. This guy, Lennox Linton, he is a breath of fresh air in this country. And we have to understand that, and we have to realize that, and we have to appreciate that. This man is a man of integrity, a man who acts without fear or favor. When Mr. Skerrit, and my partner just before me mentioned that, when Mr. Skerrit was alleged to be involved in this Macau thing, taking pictures with those guys who've been arrested, Mr. Linton suggested that he step down until this thing is cleared out. The man wasn't even arrested or charged. He asked the Prime Minister to step down until this thing is cleared. That is a man of integrity. How can he do that? Tell the Prime Minister to step down and he wasn't even arrested or charged. And you have somebody, an executive member in his camp, who's been charged with an offense of that magnitude, brother. And he's supposed to stay quiet? What would we think of a man like that? We would think that he's talking from both sides of his mouth like Scarrett. But this is not Lennox Linton. He's a straightforward man. And I'm glad he took that stand. And nobody can say any. People will talk, of course. People have their opinions.
Well, and you have your opinions, and let's respect that. 156, let's move on. Another telephone call.
Yes, Matt, it's me again.
Yes.
Matt, today in Iceland again.
I know the news of Iceland, yes.
International news, and we should follow international news. Matt, something had happened over there. And the people in the man party call him to a meeting.
Haven't Mr. Roosevelt Skerritt has been asked to resign over a number of things in the past, allegations in the past?
Yes, but
so why has Mr. Roosevelt Skerritt never resigned?
The man walk out of the meeting.
No, I'm asking you, why has it not? Why has it never resigned?
Because the man haven't got no morals.
All right, thank you very much. Let's move on. 157 is the afternoon time.
Good afternoon, Matt. How are you doing?
How you doing, my brother?
Matt.
Yes.
Joshua Francis, to be honest with you, man, he's stretching the joke a little too long now. I mean, Matt, nobody hates Joshua Francis. Nobody have nothing, no bitterness towards him, man. But for the sake of the party, Matt, and for the betterment of Dominica, Matt, this is a party that really was fighting against child
So for the sake of the party, you think he should resign?
Matt, just do that for the time. Nobody have no bit, and we see them wicked labor for people, Matt. They're trying to influence him.
You're going to be very surprised. It's not only Labour speaking and Labour supporters speaking. A number of the opposition United Workers' Party, hiding through text messages and WhatsApp messages, are saying the same. Hello.
How do you know that? How do you know that is UWP there?
I have been doing that for how many years now? You don't think I know who's on my phone and who's not on my phone?
Let's hope you're well.
All right, hello, talk to me. 158. It's always, and Mr. John Baptist made a very significant point this morning. A number of the opposition United Workers' Party supporters are a little too sensitive. You are a king when you speak, on their side and support their opinions. But once you defer, you become somebody else. You guys are a little too sensitive. Hello, talk to me. Hello, talk to me. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing, my brother?
Hey, Matt, how you doing?
How you doing?
Matt, very good. Matt, listen to me.
Yes.
If Mr. Joshua Francis is a real worker, and if he loves the Workers' Party, I'm calling from the United States, and Mr. Joshua Francis should do the right thing and step on the side, slowly and easy. The same way my pal rep from Sufure did it. Just move on the side and let the party move on.
All right, caller, we'll take our final phone call and we'll call it a day. Hello. Wow. It's heating the place there, boy. Let's talk on the block. Hello.
I'm going to share something with Dominicans they never know. Do you know when Mr. Joshua Francis won his seat, Mr. Skerritt was talking to him?
He was? He was? Well, I'll ask him about that. Hello, talk to me.
Matt, what's your opinion on this situation? Because we know Carly's opinion.
About what?
I just want to hear your opinion.
Why is it so important?
Matt, it's very important to me.
I haven't shared my opinion, have I?
No, you have.
Well, I don't know if it's important for that discussion. Hello, talk to me. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Matt.
How are you doing, my brother?
I'm not bad at all, hanging in the circumstances. Matt, I believe in my heart that Labour Party is behind Joshua Francis, not to resign from his position.
But he did say, you're not going to believe him, he did say in the meeting, from what I'm being reported, that he has not had a discussion on those matters with Roosevelt Skerritt.
Well, Matt,
but you don't believe, I imagine.
I do not believe.
All right. But if you know, Brian Brian is a classic. You know, he's a big classic. But Brian, if you need my opinion, I think I have told him that he should resign. But again, I am not Joshua Francis, and I'm not going to be Joshua Francis. He's the one who makes up his mind about his decisions. And what can I do about that? He has said that he's not going to resign. Matt Pelty can't do anything about that. 2:01 is the afternoon time.
Today's the one-stop shop for your baby diapers, wipes, cleaning products, grocery items, and bulk or wholesale items. Located on the corner of Great George and Hillsborough Streets by the All Saints Medical School. Visit us today. Open Mondays to Fridays 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. and on Saturdays from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Telephone number is 448-1636. Brighter Days.